Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Hunter x Hunter episode 140. Hunter x Hunter 2011, episode 140. Alright, so this episode starts off with and then Exorcist. Alright, it goes up to Gon, or it. I say it because I couldn't tell if it was a guy or a girl, and I didn't really care enough to figure out. But and then Exorcist walks up to Gon and realizes right away that the restriction on going is too strong for that nen to be dispelled. So the guy or girl or whoever, the exorcist just leaves because they can't really do anything about it. All right. And ends up talking to Killua and saying, "Well, we'll try and find another nen exorcist to work." Well, this was real time, so I don't think at that point Morel knew that the nen exorcist had failed. But he's trying to tell Killua to not do anything stupid, not do anything too risky, and just let Nen Exorcist handle it. But Killua's like, nah, not the way I've got a plan. It's less risky than a Nen Exorcist, and that's when he gets cut off by Goto, all right, and he gets told that he's got level 4 restrictions, okay, so he can't talk to outsiders, he can't exchange items with them, he can't carry communication devices because that would allow him to talk to outsiders, obviously. He needs to stay within 1 meter of Alaka at all times, which is even freaking Oga Tatsumi from Beelzebub. Even he didn't have it that rough, all right? He was at least given 15 meters, all right? This Killua's got 1, all right? Um, the other one is that he can't let outsiders learn about Alaka's powers, all right? And that's why he got cut off, because he gave Mora a hint accidentally, all right? Because he said it was guaranteed that he'd be able to heal Gon. He referring to Killua, and that he had a way, not he referring to Alaka, because Killua knows more about Alaka than everyone else, and he considers her to be a girl. Therefore, I will consider her to be a girl. There you go. All right. Now, Killua also has to be accompanied by butlers, Zoldyck family butlers, to make sure he doesn't go against those restrictions. And at first, it was just going to be Goto and Kanari. All right. I'm just gonna say Canary, because even though that's not how it's pronounced, I'm not gonna say Kanari every single freaking time. All right. It was just gonna be those two at first, but then, but then freaking Silva, man, sends in Subone, who apparently is incredibly confident in her ability to knock Killua out. So clearly Subone is pretty legit. All right. And the last butler to come along is Amane, who instantly made me think of the character Amane from World Embryo. If you haven't read the manga, go read it. It's great. It's actually great. Okay, it's completed. It has 97 chapters, though only 92 of them are scanlated right now. But still, go read it. Anyway, those 4, 5 actually, they finished their introduction. 6. Those 6 finished their introductions and everything, and Alka ends up requesting a fingernail of Subone, her pinky nail, I believe it was, and she does it, which didn't surprise me at all. And I figured, she's his old butler. This is probably nothing to her. No, and of course she did it. And then she decides to go into hiding so that she doesn't get 2 more requests. However, because of not one of the restrictions, but one of the conditions of Alka's ability that we learned last episode or the week before, one of those two, I think it was last week, we learned that Alka can't request something of someone else while she's already focused on another person. So since she's focused on Subone right now, it means she can't ask requests of Killua. And if she can't ask requests of Killua, then that means he can't grant a wish, okay? Or he can't get his wish granted, all right? So that means he can't save Gon. so at first I was thinking, oh man, he's screwed. But apparently he says something like he can still do a command, which I guess is another part of Alaka's power. I don't believe that was referred to in the last 2 episodes. So I guess that's just another secret that Killua has up his sleeve. that we'll probably get more information about later. Um, I don't think they mentioned that in the last couple weeks. It's possible I just missed it because they were saying a lot of stuff, so I might have just missed it, but I'm pretty sure they didn't say anything about commands. So I mean, this isn't Fate Stay Night. I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't say anything about commands, but whatever. I'm sure we'll learn about it later on and get more details. Um, but after this, we get the return of Leorio. All right, this dude is funny. Right after watching all these scenes with Leorio, it just reminded me why I liked him so much in the past. All right, because like I mentioned before, Leorio used to be my favorite character in this, well, second favorite. Killua was my favorite, but Leorio used to be my second favorite character in the series, but then he kind of just never did anything. He rarely ever showed up, and when he did show up, he never really did anything. So I kind of just got used to it and just stopped caring. Like, I didn't stop liking him, I just stopped caring as much. But now he's back, and I'm starting to care again because he's hilarious. All right, he called Goto, and well, he called Killua, and Goto answered. Uh, and Goto made him call back. He hung up on him and made him call back because he didn't introduce himself at first. So then he has to do that. He's all angry and stuff. He's all worked up, and Killua managed just to calm him down. All right, and calm him down, and Moro, he sees how worked up Leorio is, so he wants to just talk to them. And Leorio says no. But Moro tells him, look, I know exactly how this is going to go. And he predicts everything that happens. He predicts exactly how Leorio is going to react when it comes to hearing the conditions that Goto tells him. And he was exactly right. That was funny, too. So then in the end, he just lets Moro take over, right? And he agrees to all the conditions. They're going to set up a little space in the parking lot or something, and their car is going to drive right in. They're going to do their business, and then they're going to leave because Killua can't interact with them at all because of his level 4 restrictions, you know? All right. And while Moro's doing that, Leorio just goes off on his own. He starts making some calls. Kurapika is MIA right now, all right? And we see him looking cool. He's trying to look as cool as, just sitting there like this, legs spread out and everything. Like, he was just trying to look as cool as he could, all right? Um, but he's MIA right now. You saw, oh, what's her name? Oh, what is her name? The girl from York New who has like the really good hearing. Oh, I forgot her name. It was like one of Togashi's weird names too. It wasn't like a normal. Well, what what name in Hunter x Hunter is normal? I mean, the main character's last name is Freaks. I mean, you can literally say he comes from a family of freaks. I mean, well, whatever. Melody. It's Melody, right? I think that's her name. Maybe I watched Fairy Tale this morning, so maybe I'm just thinking of her. But her name's something like that, all right? But she's there. They had a lot of other characters had cameos when they talked about how like Biscuit and the dude from Green Island, all these dudes showed up. What's his face who taught the Nen in the Hunter's Arena? All these dudes got little cameos for like a second and a half to try and wake going up, but it didn't work, obviously. Um, but yeah, where's I going with this? I just kind of went off on this tangent. Anyway, moving on. All right, I don't even know where I was going with that. Um, Leorio ends up going off, and he ends up going to where the Zodiacs are because they're making the speeches that were mentioned last week. All right, and they open up the floor to questions, and Leorio goes up and he starts to confront King, and he asks all these questions of him. Like why he sucks as a father and why he cares so little about his son. Pretty much, all right. And Ging just shows like he just does not care. He's like, I'm sure there are enough people visiting him. It's fine. And he's like, you're his father. You should visit him. Well, did he ask for me? You know he can't ask for you. He's unconscious. You know, so Leorio just loses it. He just gets pissed off. And we see that scene from the opening where he punches the podium, destroys it, and he pulls some Blue Note crap where he opens up a portal and sends his fist through it and gives this uppercut to Ging, which sends him flying. Alright? Which Ging just let himself get hit. You know he just let himself get hit because he was staring at that portal for like a minute and a half. Like he could have dodged that if he wanted to. He just chose not to. All right, but still, you know, Ging got hit. Ging got taken out by Leoria, which he deserves because he just does not. It's not that he doesn't care about his son. He just doesn't care about his son. uh, but whatever. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for the episode, to be honest. And not too much happened here, but it was still a pretty enjoyable episode. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. All right, it was a cool episode. All right, so yeah, 7 out of 10, and that's that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.